I'm Diana Colantino, and we're at New Vestures, a fashion makerspace. To explain a little bit, what is a makerspace? A makerspace or a hackerspace, these are terms you might have heard of, have risen out of the DIY movement and the need for community spaces that where people can share equipment, tools, and knowledge. New Vestures is a fashion makerspace, so our plan would be to have all the equipment essential for fashion design and textile arts. Some of the classes we have lined up for New Vestures are beginner sewing, where you would learn an array of hand stitching, how to use the machines, different finishes and closures. Beyond that, you would step into pattern drafting, stylized drawing so that you could develop your designs, accessory design, which would include some jewelry making and some of the hardware necessary to create jewelry bags and belts and that sort of thing. We'll be doing millinery classes, which is hat making. We've got an array of technical classes that will be taught on the computer, CAD drawing for 3D printing, Photoshop and Illustrator for stylized drawing and technical flats. We'll have some photography classes that will allow us to print on fabric, cyano print, Van Dyke print, and screen printing will be included in that. And we're also taking proposals from teachers. So anything that you would love to share that is related to textile arts. We've got some felting, for example, other kinds of dyeing techniques, shibori, for example. So we want to hear what you would love to teach here and make this a really rich experience in textile and fashion arts. The reason folks should come to a makerspace to make their stuff is pretty obvious. It's much larger than your apartment or your living room where you might be on the floor cutting fabric, but also we have tools and equipment that you might not have. And even more important than that, we have people. People sharing information, people sharing knowledge. Ultimately, makerspaces also serve as incubators, which is really awesome because people might get together and start new businesses. You maybe find yourself more encouraged by other folks here in the makerspace, where at home you may not have the discipline or the encouragement that is required to move your creations to the next level, as maybe a product line. So we really want to see people making stuff that will be a business for themselves, and that gets back to our fashion business and making stuff here in the US and making stuff here in Lowell and making stuff right down here in New Vestures. One of the reasons that maker spaces, hacker spaces, and the DIY movement have become more popular is we care more about sustainability these days. It's on our minds. And the way that fashion makerspace would be sustainable is that because we've been making stuff overseas and creating this fast fashion, which has really gotten out of control, we're about to try to bring that back here, where people will learn skills, people will learn how to upcycle, people will value the garments that they purchase or create a little bit more. We want to start manufacturing back in the United States. We want to be more creative. We don't want quick fixes for clothing and t-shirts. We want to be able to wear what we have created as art and really express individuality. And so that's why this movement is more sustainable than the way we've been creating the clothing in the past.